VeeFriends Series 2 are the newest NFTs from Gary Vee. This is his third NFT released in the last year, and many are expecting this project to be just as popular as Book Games and VeeFriends. Today, I'll be discussing VeeFriends Series 2 in depth. I'll be giving you price predictions and the best strategies to get into Series 2. My name is Devin Cook. Let's talk VeeFriends, and welcome back to Dev Money. Now, if this is your first time really hearing about VeeFriends and you're not really sure what they are, I'll catch you up to speed. VeeFriends launched in May of 2021, and they are the first and original NFT project from Gary Vee, or Gary Vaynerchuk. It's a collection of 10,255 NFTs with characters that were drawn by Gary and turned into NFTs. They were sold via a Dutch auction, which means that the prices actually drop if people aren't bidding and buying these NFTs, and the floor price was set for 0.5 Ethereum for the most basic of the VeeFriends NFTs. Since the project launched back in May of 2021, there has been a lot that's happened in VeeFriends world, and if you bought one of those NFTs for 0.5 Ethereum back in May, you would have seen the floor price for this project reach about 20 Ethereum. And if you're in the VeeFriends Discord, you're often going to see VeeFriends referred to as VeeFriends 1 or VeeFriends Series 1 or just VF1. And then in late August 2021, Gary announced his new book called 12.5 that would be launching in November. And during that launch announcement, he gave everyone a 24-hour window where you could buy sets of 12 of his new book, or at least you could pre-order them. And then each set of 12 that you bought would be giving you one NFT that he would be airdropping to you after the launch and release of the book. Those NFTs are known as Book Games tokens, and they were launched and airdropped to everyone who bought those books in sets of 12 back in January. At launch, there were 125,000 Book Games tokens, which is substantially more than the typical 10,000 NFT collection that you're seeing all the time on OpenSea. These Book Games tokens are on a layer 2 Ethereum scaling solution called Immutable X, and also they're available to buy on the secondhand marketplace on Token Trove, and they play a huge part in getting a whitelist spot for VeeFriends Series 2. And if you want a lot more detailed information on the Book Games tokens, I made a video specifically about Book Games, so you can go check that out. And now we're here, March of 2022, and VeeFriends Series 2 comes out in April, so just a few weeks away. So what do we know about VeeFriends Series 2? How do you get whitelisted, and should you be buying one? There will be 55,555 VeeFriends Series 2 NFTs, and the art for this collection resembles much more of a traditional profile picture NFT collection than VeeFriends 1 did, because VeeFriends 1 was often criticized for its homemade, hand-drawn style of art, which it was because Gary drew those himself. The mint price for VeeFriends Series 2 is going to be just under $1,000, and it's going to be pegged to Ethereum right before the launch. And unlike Book Games tokens, VeeFriends Series 2 is going to be on layer 1 Ethereum, just like VeeFriends. And the Book Games tokens allow two ways to get a VeeFriends Series 2, which I'll go into both of those. The first is by getting whitelisted. The only way to get whitelisted, or friends listed as they call it, for VeeFriends Series 2 is by having a Book Game token. However, owning an original VeeFriend or a VeeFriends Series 1 is also going to give you a huge advantage, which I'm also going to talk about. Each Book Game token is going to give you a 26% chance of getting a friends list spot for VeeFriends Series 2. So obviously, the more Book Game tokens you have, the higher your chances of getting whitelisted. And if you didn't get any Book Game tokens from buying the books back in August, don't go buying sets of 12 books right now off of Amazon and expect to be getting an NFT. The only way to purchase Book Game tokens now is by buying them secondhand on Token Trove. And technically they can be ported over to layer 1 Ethereum and sold on OpenSea, but I would recommend only buying them on Token Trove. So if you want a chance at the whitelist for VeeFriends Series 2, you need to have at least one Book Game token in your wallet on April 5th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is when the wallet snapshot will take place, which is when all the wallets that hold Book Games tokens are going to be recorded. And then 32,000 of the Book Games tokens are going to be randomly selected on April 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to get whitelist spots for VeeFriends Series 2. And each whitelist spot or each friend list spot represents one opportunity to mint one VeeFriends Series 2 NFT. So if you have multiple Book Games tokens in your wallet, you can get multiple spots to mint the VeeFriends Series 2 NFTs. But do keep in mind that you're going to have to pay that roughly $1,000 price for each VeeFriends Series 2 that you choose to mint. And here's the formula that you can use to calculate your probability of getting at least one whitelist spot based upon the number of Book Games tokens that you have in your wallet. Right now there's about 122,000 Book Games tokens in existence because about 3,000 of them have been burned. So the 32,000 whitelist spots divided by 122,000 Book Games tokens in total supply gives you a 26% chance per Book Game token. And the formula to use to calculate your probability of getting a whitelist spot is 1 minus 1 minus 0.26 to the power of your number of Book Games tokens. And this can be simplified multiplied to just 1 minus 0.74 to the power of your number of Book Games tokens. So if you have 3 Book Games tokens within your wallet, you're going to have a 59.5% chance of getting at least one spot to mint a VeeFriends Series 2. And if you have 10 tokens in your wallet, your chances of getting a whitelist spot is going to be 95%. So you can use this formula to determine your probability of getting a whitelist spot based upon the number of tokens that you have. Or you can also use it to decide how many more Book Games tokens you need to buy in order to get the probability of being whitelisted that you're looking for. And once you're on the whitelist, you're going to have 12.5 days to mint your Series 2 NFTs, which should give you plenty of time to find a good time to mint your NFT without paying huge gas prices. And any of the 32,000 NFTs that are not minted during that private sale, that friends list period, are going to be added to the total supply that are available for the public sale. And after the friends list spots are allocated on April 5th, you're free to sell your Book Games NFTs after that, and you're still going to retain your friends list spots. And that's because each friend list spot will be assigned to a wallet, which is based upon the Book Games tokens that you had on that April 5th date. And here's their website, which spells it out really well. So do I need to hold the winning Book Games tokens after the drawing? No, after the drawing on April 5th, 2022 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Book Games tokens will no longer make you eligible for VeeFriends Series 2 friends list, and the friends list will be considered filled. Here's an example. If you bought one of the winning Book Games tokens after the drawing, are you on the friends list? No, after the drawing has occurred on April 5th, Book Games tokens will no longer make you eligible for VeeFriends Series 2 friends list. And if you sold one of the winning Book Games tokens after the drawing, are you still on the friends list? Yes, after the drawing has occurred, your eligible mint count has already been assigned to your wallet. Now there's also another way to get a Series 2 NFT by having Book Games tokens. Every Series 2 token is based off the original characters from VeeFriends Series 1, except for the 15 new characters that are going to be released in VeeFriends Series 2, and you can only mint these NFTs by burning 5 frames that are all the same from the Book Games tokens. And there are 15 new characters and 15 different frames, so it can probably be assumed that each character is going to be assigned to a certain frame. And most likely the more rare the character is, the more rare of a frame that you're going to have to burn in order to get those NFTs. And remember, you have to burn these frames in sets of 5. For example, Gary has mentioned the new Red Devil character as being insane and the equivalent of a VeeFriend 1 Black Cat. I wouldn't be surprised to see if you have to burn 5 champagne frames in order to get one of those Red Devil NFTs, because the champagne frames are the most limited and the most expensive. Now the downside to burning the Book Games tokens to get these new characters is you're not going to have those Book Games tokens anymore. But the upside is you could potentially have a very desirable and very limited NFT from the Series 2 collection. There will only be 3,300 new characters of the total 55,000 supply. And do remember that if you get a friends list spot for VeeFriends Series 2, you do not have to burn your Book Games tokens in order to mint those NFTs. You only have to burn your tokens if you're looking to mint one of the 15 new characters. And their website says that the 15 new characters in VeeFriends Series 2 are scheduled to come after the friends list 12.5 day advantage window. You do not have to be on the friends list to mint one of the 15 new characters. There will be a separate minting process where you will need to burn tokens to mint one of the 15 new characters. Now you also have an opportunity to get a Series 2 NFT by owning one of the original VeeFriends. And I think the best way to go over this is by just jumping onto their website. With the new Series 2 launching in April, Series 1 holders will be receiving an NFT that no one else can initially own. So what is the Series 2 advantage for those that own Series 1 VeeFriends? Every Series 1 holder will be able to claim for free, plus gas, a Series 2 NFT of their current character. Series 1 holders will receive exclusive access to a special character pose called Evolving. The Series 2 characters in the Evolving pose will only be able to be claimed by VeeFriends Series 1 holders and can only be claimed by having VeeFriends Series 1 NFTs. In other words, the Evolving pose, in our opinion, will be the most sought after pose of all the poses and will not be available in the friends list or general public mint of the Series 2 drop. So for every VeeFriends Series 1 that you hold within your wallet, you're going to be getting one of those Evolving pose NFTs that lines up with the character that you have from VeeFriends Series 1. But if you have a spectacular VeeFriend in your wallet, you're going to get a spectacular VeeFriends Series 2. Spectacular tokens will be receiving the same character that they own, not an Evolving pose, but now in their special Series 2 Spectacular form. The Spectacular for Series 2 is no longer just a background property, but the entire character has now evolved into the Spectacular type. And additionally, Spectacular holders will be elated to hear there is another surprise for them on claim day. More details to come. And here you can see an example of this Bubblegum Legendary Leaper that is in the Bubblegum Spectacular type. And if you have one of the Gift Goat tokens, you will be claiming a Series 2 Gift Goat character in a variation of 2 possible poses depending on your Gift Goat edition number. either odd or even. And if you have access tokens from VeeFriends Series 1, you're not going to get a VeeFriends Series 2 that lines up with your character. Those tokens are going to be retiring as NFTs, but will continue to develop the intellectual property for these characters. Access token holders will be given a randomized evolving character when they go to claim their free mint plus fees for VeeFriends Series 2. And VeeFriends Series 1 holders have until the end of the year to claim their VeeFriends Series 2, and you must own the VeeFriends Series 1 NFT when claiming the Series 2 NFT. And here's the breakdown of the total 55,000 supply. There's going to be 10,255 of these NFTs that are going to go directly to the VeeFriends Series 1 holders. There's going to be 32,000 for the friends list, which we've just talked about. There's going to be 10,000 for the general public mint, plus any unminted from the friends list sale. And there's going to be 3,300 for new characters, which requires burning Book Games tokens. And we don't have an official release date for VeeFriends Series 2 for the public sale or for the friends list sale. But when we look at the map, there's a couple things that we can deduce. So we have the friends list allocation on the 5th of April, and then we have that 12.5-day mint period if you're on the friends list. And then you're gonna have the public sale, which is also gonna be in April. At least that's what Gary has shared on his Discord. So with this 12.5-day period that you can mint your NFTs before the public sale, and if we assume that the public sale is on the last day of April to just squeeze it into April, if the public sale is on the 30th of April, then the latest that we'll probably see this pre-sale start for VeeFriends Series 2 is on the 18th of April. Now for everyone that wants to know what the price of these NFTs is gonna be once they're on the secondhand market, once they're available on OpenSea, well, nobody knows, and anyone that's telling you what the price is gonna be is just making a prediction. And here's a couple predictions which you may have seen, which will show you how widely these numbers vary. If you want to apply the current market cap value for VeeFriends and Book Games tokens and then apply that to VeeFriends Series 2, here's what you can expect. Book Games tokens have a floor price of roughly 0.4 Ethereum with 122,000 tokens. That gives them a market cap of about 48,800 Ethereum. If Series 2 were to have that same market cap based upon their number of tokens, then their floor price for VeeFriends Series 2 would be about 0.88 Ethereum. And VeeFriends Series 1 has a market cap of about 154,000 Ethereum based upon their 10,000 tokens and their 15 Ethereum current floor price. And keep in mind, these numbers fluctuate. And also keep in mind that this isn't necessarily a foolproof way to calculate the market cap of an NFT project, because the floor price doesn't account for the different rarities of NFTs within that collection that are going to be a lot more expensive than the floor prices. But we're just going to go with it because this method is very simple. If VeeFriends Series 2 were to have the same market cap, 154,000 Ethereum, as VeeFriends Series 1, then they would be at about a 2.8 Ethereum floor price. And you can also look at the original floor price of those NFTs when they initially sold versus their current prices. For example, VeeFriends Series 1 sold at an absolute lowest price of 0.5 Ethereum, and now with that 15 Ethereum floor price, that's about a 3,000% return. And if the same thing held true with VeeFriends Series 2 selling at $1,000 or just under, then they would be selling for about $30,000 on the secondhand market. So do you see how widely these numbers vary? And this is why it's extremely hard to predict the floor prices for a particular project, and in my opinion, it's really just speculation. So don't take any of these numbers as accurate predictions. No one knows what the floor price is going to be. It could be flat, it could be down, it could be up. Nobody knows, and I don't have a crystal ball to predict the future. The best thing to do really is to do your own research and come up with why you want to be in this project or why you don't want to be in this project. Now here's a couple different strategies that you can use to get into VeeFriends Series 2. First is you can buy the Book Games tokens to hopefully get whitelisted for VeeFriends Series 2. And this is going to be a really common strategy to get into VeeFriends Series 2. It's exceptionally common actually, and it could potentially give you a really low cost basis for VeeFriends Series 2 if you do end up getting whitelisted and if Series 2 does really well on the secondary market. And be aware that if you're buying Book Games tokens at their current floor prices, be aware that the floor price is most likely going to drop after the April 5th date when the friends list is closed. And that's because they'll have lost that utility that gives you access to being on the friends list for VeeFriends Series 2, much the same as the Mood Rollers NFTs dropped in price after they were no longer eligible for whitelist spots for invisible friends. This is very common to see in NFT world. And the second option is to buy out of the 10,000 Series 2 NFTs allocated for a public sale. The benefit to doing this is you don't have to buy Book Games tokens in order to get friends listed, but the downside is, assuming there's gas wars because of insane demand, you're going to be paying a lot more money in gas fees than you would by being friends listed. Now third is you can buy Book Games tokens and then burn them for one of the 15 new characters. And this really could have a large upside depending on how popular those new characters are. With only 6% of the total supply going to the new characters, there's a good chance they could have higher prices than the rest of the characters once they're on the secondhand marketplace on OpenSea. But that's just my guess based upon the supply. Now the fourth option is just to buy an original VeeFriend so you get a guaranteed VeeFriends Series 2 token, especially because you get it in that evolving pose. The benefit to doing this is you get the evolving pose and you only have to pay gas fees, but you do have to pay that really steep price of 15 Ethereum to get that VeeFriend and then that new Series 2 NFT. But you can also choose to hold that VeeFriend, and if you hold long enough, you'll be getting 3 NFTs for VeeCon for 2022, 2023, and 2024, if you hold long enough. And fifth, you can always just wait until they're all out, they're all released on OpenSea, and then you can make your buying decision at that point. And depending on how the launch goes and how popular these NFTs are, you could be paying quite the premium to get one of those NFTs off of OpenSea, but also you do have a chance of paying under mint price for these NFTs if for whatever reason the demand is not that high. And what is the value add for these Series 2 tokens? Well, we actually don't know. There isn't a utility that's specifically outlined for these tokens. The only thing they say on their website is that they're going to come with something, but who knows what that's going to be. But so far, if you've been watching VeeFriends evolve over the last year, Gary has added a lot more to the IP and a lot more utility than people originally thought. He's released a co-branded wine with one of the VeeFriends characters called Empathy Wine. A couple of original VeeFriends sold at Christie's auction for over 7 figures collectively. He's released VeeFriends Uno cards, although they haven't shipped yet, in collaboration with Mattel. The VeeFriends trading cards were just announced and are extremely limited, and VeeFriends Series 1 holders will get you a Series 2 token and 3 VeeCon NFTs, meaning that buying a VeeFriend NFT actually gets you a total of 5 NFTs. And Gary is also focused on a 40-year time horizon with VeeFriends, and he already has plans in the horizon for the koala and the pony from Book Games in 2025. So if you're someone who believes in Gary and his vision for VeeFriends and the fact that they could potentially be as valuable as Disney characters, getting in now could really pay off in the long run. But there's also the risk that maybe Gary doesn't deliver on all of these promises. Maybe VeeFriends, for whatever reason, just doesn't take off and doesn't gain mass market popularity. And also, if something was to happen to Gary in the future, some health issue or something like that, then probably the VeeFriends brand would suffer, not having him driving it. Let me know what you think about VeeFriends, VeeFriends Series 2, and Book Games, and what your plans and strategies are. Thanks for watching.